Hello, it's time for another Memories from San Diego Comic-Con. Today I want to talk about a really cool one. This one is a little different than the others. It's more about the creators themselves, the creators I've met and how I've met them and the surprise things that occurred because I didn't realize what was going on, and now I'm a part of this really great memory that I just was like, whoa, this is great. I was about 16 or 17, so it was in the early 90s, mid to early 90s. The comic book convention had moved from the Concourse Center, which is a small old building, into the newer building that it's in nowadays. DC Comics was having like this after party thing, celebrating like a milestone that was occurring at DC Comics, a new thing, that a new project, a new way they were going with things. And I went to it not knowing exactly what I was getting myself into, but I was excited to go to it because there's going to be all these creators there with just hobnobbing around. It was just pretty much like any other after party event where people that go to the con are going to have fun and just hang out and talk. And I'm hobnobbing with all these creators and not knowing exactly what I was gotten myself into. The memory's a little blurry because a lot of things have happened in my life since then. But it was a great time to be there at this event because they announced something very important and integral to how comic books are today, what comic books are today, and what goes on. At some point during the thing, someone made an announcement. I don't know who it was, but looking back, it was probably the editor-in-chief of DC Comics at that time, because that would make sense, because they announced that the new imprint they had would have an editor, and who that editor was. And it was very important because it was a imprint that would change the way we see and do and create comic books. And it was Vertigo. So if you have heard of Vertigo comic books, it's an imprint within DC comic books where they did more mature themes, horror stuff, just any kind of theme that they felt couldn't fit within their normal DC comics, the Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Justice League kind of stuff, which nowadays it's a little different. But they wouldn't have been able to do that if they hadn't had Vertigo Comics. And Vertigo Comics allowed them to do something they hadn't done anywhere else. And they announced the editor of Vertigo Comics. And that person is Karen Berger. If you don't know who Karen Berger is, or Vertigo Comics, look it up. She was an integral part of making Vertigo Comics imprint what it is and what it became and what it did. I mean, you wouldn't have Sandman. Sandman, is, of all things especially, you would not have Sandman if not for Karen Berger and Vertigo Comics. Brought in Neil Gaiman, allowed him to tell this great story, which, you know, is now being told as a TV show, a live-action TV show. So that's my memory. Wanted to share that all with you. And yeah, remember, comic books are for everyone.